Welcome, everyone. This is, oh, yeah. Bismillah, Bismillah, how's it? Okay. Well, technically, we'll start all over. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. The title of our program is multifaceted today, but we're going to begin with the Great Recovery. This is a program we had October 21st, 2012. Let's say that's 9 years ago. So, but you'll see how the pattern is basically the same. We'll also explain what we've been doing during that period, and basically an outline of some of the goals we've had and how close we are to fulfilling those goals and carrying them out. This will be, if we can get them done in time, will be passed out this Thursday at Dua Komil out at IEC. So the sooner I get it back, the sooner I can crank up. I can do the ones that we're going to do in California a little later. But I have several flyers, so I'll just get into it. We'll be coming by to kind of raise funds and to raise as many funds as we can, because we are stepping right into it right now. And we're stepping into it according to what we call stepping into it. Wherever everybody else is at or want to be, a nice alim was waiting by my house today. And I ain't going to go into it. He's middle level alim. I'm not going to even tell you where he's from. But he's around in the area. And he's a pretty good guy. We talked for quite a while this morning about the what's going on in his country and what's going on in Iran, what's going on here, and we have a lot of similar ideas. But the Great Recovery, there's a guy here called Victor Jolly, I think. Have anybody ever heard of him? He's a motivational speaker. And he coined this phrase. Well, I'm not saying he stole it from us, but a setback is nothing but a setup for a comeback. Now, a lot of y'all wouldn't know, but we went through several changes and had a nice big show there in Oakland. We believe we helped a lot of people. We were very critical in Oakland. We had opened up our structure, and it was going along very well. Then the government came in, and just like what they did here, kind of, that right in Oakland, where I'm from, where we had, I don't know how many businesses, I'd have to sit down and count them. And I felt isolated in my own city. This is 50 years ago. But I was young and learning, so it wasn't no big deal. Well, it was a big deal because when you just getting into it, boss man is a big deal. Now he just regular old boss man. But at that time, you know, we used to have a saying, man, the white man got you on the board, on the chessboard. In other words, He's moving here, he's moving there, da, 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 da. And when you're on the board, you know you're on the board. It ain't like you've seen movies like some detective or some FBI agents are out to, they'll make a statement about the big, we're going to get you, big guy. Yeah, and the movie goes on, and finally they produce an environment where the big guy gets down to his last bit of money, and he got one more shipment coming in or one more big robbery, right? And he gets caught every time, this last big one. That happens because doing whatever he was doing, he didn't manage his money correctly. He didn't have foresight. He was dependent on things staying like they was, and we'll go on robbing banks. We'll go on doing whatever we do, selling whatever we selling. We'll go on doing that, and we'll keep doing it, and then we'll live happily ever after. Well, boss man, he have other plans. And if you watch him, he has the same basic plan that he falls into. Well, we had paid enough attention. Actually, you could see it on TV. It's the same pattern. So, years before that, it's really something. I went out to visit my friend, the number 2 in our organization. He had another case that didn't pertain to us. Actually, we was good friends in Oakland. He moved down to L.A. And whenever we used to do business in L.A., we would run it through him. So he got a case of counterfeiting, and then he came up to Oakland, and I just said, well, did you tell him you was going to give him somebody? Because when you get out right away on counterfeiting, he said, yeah. And I could see, well, why he's there. But our business when he came up, I put him in as second in command of what we was doing, and he was good at it. He was good at that. He just never had the opportunity to show it, and he didn't have the discipline to develop an organization like that. Whether it's cutie pie, whether it's getting high, whatever it was, but when he joined what we was doing, shoot, he started, man, he could, instead of counting all the reds out, second all, just cut a top, you know what I mean, and put how many you want in there, and then cut it right around there instead of sitting there counting them things all day. It was little simple stuff, but he had the gift for that. So he was in charge. One time, I did a few days on tickets, not a few days, I did a couple of months, and I was out at Santa Rita, and I asked him how things was going. He said, man, that water crank, whatever it is, he said, man, they pumped that our way the other a little while ago, and it's running like, we had the best stuff in the region. And he said, man, shoot, I got so many grand out in the trunk. I said, you got it out in the trunk? Yeah, this is, anyway. It was hilarious. When I got out of jail for that I went around and I was collecting money from people and I had like big stacks of money. And it was in the summer, and I had on a mink coat, mink hat and stuff. But that's the way Negroes did. Anyway, just to let everybody know I'm back, But anyway, so he never did follow up on the feds on that. Life was too good And we was kind of friends, so he never followed up on, we'll send you back up to Oakland to get so-and-so. And I went to visit him in the federal prison camp. I'd take him ounces of blow and stuff like that. So, I got an ounce of blow in the car. Just an ounce of blow, And it was hilarious. So I'd go get the blow and give it to him, and he'd hide it. It's just the visiting at a federal camp. It's not, he could put it in a light thing or anything. He could do whatever he want with it. Because it's not inside the camp. I mean, inside is the penitentiary. That's where you go first. But the camp is like a camp. I mean, it's just like you can walk off, run across. In fact, his hustle, first he was kind of chubby. And when he went to camp, part of his hustle was between count time, he would run to the liquor store and buy liquor for the rich white people. He'd probably charge them 4 or 5 times the money. He'd probably charge them $100 bottle for Chevy's Regal or something. Maybe at that time it was 20. But that's what he would do. He'd go out across the field and he'd have to run. And I come to see him. I said, man, you done trimmed down. He said, yeah, man, I've been running to the liquor store. I said, well, an ounce of blow, chopping it up in prison and selling it, it was $100 a gram on the street. So probably getting. So anyway, we kept him where he'd get good money. And anyway, when he came out, he'd get a stack of money. But he really was very important in helping us just boom, because he was a good manager. He didn't know it, but when he got moving, he was a good manager. And he'd come visit me. He said, yeah, man, we making. I mean, when I was in jail at that period, maybe it was 68, 69, something, he said, man, I was just gone a short time and the business exploded while I was in jail. I didn't go around to see how much money you got. You got any money? You hiding any money? No, we having so much money, who cares? Anything you could, with all that money. I don't want to change the subject, but Negroes are so stupid. They getting so much money they can't count it. And they'll kill somebody for stealing $500. Like somebody in Oakland burn up a guy. They do it everywhere, but this might have been 40 years ago. Somebody owed somebody a little money, and they set them on fire and burn him up. $50. I said, good God Almighty. I never would even think about doing nothing like that. If somebody was, first thing, just the business thing, I will get back into the Great Recovery in a minute. If somebody come and they want to get busy, so you give them a quarter ounce. They bring that back, you give them another quarter ounce. Then they bring that back, you give them another quarter ounce. Then after that, you give them a half ounce and another half ounce. So, because see, them first quarters, if he give you 1 quarter back, he didn't paid for anything he gonna get in the next. If he bring that back, if he don't bring it back, that's it. You just don't get nothing else. But if he bring back 1 quarter ounce of money, he's paying, let's say, 3 times what we paid for it. Maybe 4. That sounds better. Because we giving him a break. And then if somebody, we start giving them a half ounce, then 2 or 3 of them, and they bring the money back, then we give them an ounce. And another, another ounce. And they do that for a while, then they can get a quarter pound, 4 ounces, But see, he's going to pay for all of that beforehand. No matter what he get, When we give him a quarter pound, which is a nice amount of whatever it is, it's a lot. A quarter pound of powder is a lot of powder. Whatever kind of powder it is, now, he gonna get rich. But he done brought quarter ounce, then many of those, half ounce, many of those, then ounces. He done brought back several of those. So by the time we give him a quarter pound, he done paid for. If he come back and say, man, a bird snatched it up and flew over the thing and dropped it down, then the rat took it and it run down a hole, then the snakes got on it. That's what niggas tell you that stuff. I'm telling you. I am not lying. And you have to be really brave not to do nothing. So what I did was, I didn't go to movies much at that time. So